Hey Moon Babies. So today I was thinking that we could do a little get ready with me kind of thing where I just have to go run a few errands today. I have to go to the bank. I have to get a recycling bin because I really want to start recycling because we don't have recycling here at my apartment. There's just a couple of little things that I want to do, but I figured, might as well make a video out of this, might as well, just chat with you guys. And I actually have a story time as well to tell you guys, because I don't know if you guys knew this. I'm not sure if I ever actually even said this in any of my videos, but I was dating a boy for about 3 years, and we just recently, within the last I want to say, like, it hasn't even been a month yet. We broke up because we were just like, we're really young. Like, I'm only 20, he was 18. We met in high school. We're like best friends, and like, he's a really great guy, and we still hang out all the time and talk all the time, and I know dearly that he loves me, and I love him so much too. But like, also, I would hate, we had plans to like get married and have babies and all that stuff, but I would hate to like feel like either of us were trapped and then, I don't know, have a baby, get divorced. Like, when we're older, I would rather us just like live our lives and figure our stuff out and see what it is that we like to do, meet new people, figure out if we really love each other, travel abroad. Like, I know he wants to go to school abroad. I really want to actually move to LA, like, within the next, like, few years, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, we broke up, and I was pretty heartbroken, and I just really love to meet new people, and I was like, you know what, this guy asked me out on a date, and I was like, why not? Like, really, why not, People do dates all the time. Like, I know it's kind of a weird generation where like a lot of it is online with like Tinder and Bumble and all that stuff, but people do still go on dates, and I know they have to. Like, it can't be totally like just gone. Like, there still has to be people going on dates. Like, I can't be the only person who wants to go on a date, So I went to a club for the first time because all the clubs here are 21 and up. I'm not 21, but there was a 18 and up club, and I'm actually just trying to find my primer right now. I perpetually love to live in a little bit of a mess. Shame on me. I suppose I can go ahead and use this little like sample that I got in my Ipsy. It's a Smashbox Photo Finish Radiance with hyaluronic acid. Anything with hyaluronic acid, I'm pretty down with. But anyways, like I was saying, I went to a club with my girlfriend. She's my roommate, and we were having a really good time, and I was like, this is a good time, but I'm kind of surprised that nobody has tried to dance with me so far. And she was like, that's okay, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. Like, it just depends on the night. Like, we went on a Thursday as well, so like that could have had something to do with it. But either way, I was like, okay, you're right, yeah, like, whatever, I'm not gonna freak out about it. And literally the second that we went on the dance floor, after I had like said that and explained like, maybe do I not look cute today, like something wrong with me, and she assured me. So we went on the dance floor. Literally 2 seconds later, this very bold boy comes up to me, and he's really nice, and he's, I don't know, he's like this really like bold little Asian dude, and I'm like, okay, like, why not, I don't typically like do stuff like this, and I don't know how to like flirt and like sexy dance. Like, I do, but I really have to be feeling myself. And I was like, why the heck not, you know? Let's dance with this guy. Let's see how it is. So I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever Professional Ultra HD, and my shade is, do they really not? Interesting. So my shade is 153, and then like equals 7405. That's interesting. They don't like have names. I also didn't know this was made in Japan. Anyways, so I'm dancing with this guy, and he's kind of being like a little like pushy. Like I was sort of confused. Like he was really like grabbing onto me and like trying to like hold my hand, like put his fingers in between my hand, and I'm like, you know, I've never been to a club, like this must just be kind of a normal thing. Like maybe people are a little bit more thirsty than I thought they were. And so like I'm dancing with him, and he's like grinding on me, and like I kid you not, he's like getting a very like a halfie, like a half chub, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, is this really happening? And then I finally, I'm just kind of like, you know, I kind of just want to dance with my roommate, like I kind of just want to like hang out with her. And he's like, let me talk to you. He's like whispering in my ear. He's like, let me talk to you, like you're so beautiful, and you're such a hot, like, and he's just like showering me with all these like compliments, which I'm really not used to. And I don't know if maybe that's what like threw me off, is I'm just not used to like getting compliments like that so often. Like people tell me I'm pretty, but not the way he was doing it. It felt like very low-key, like desperate. And I was just kind of like, and I was like, I'm too old for you. But like in this club, they like mark your hands with an X if you're not 21. And he was like, how old are you? And I was like, how old are you? And he was like, how old do you think I am? And I was like, I don't know, 24. And he was like, I'm 26. And I was like, okay, I'm 36. And he's like, really? He's like, I love old women. Like, I love older women. And I was like, no, that's not what I meant. Like, I'm too old for you, you know? And he was like, well, let me see your hand. And I was like, why? And he was like, just let me see your hand. Why do you have an X on it? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, you're lying to me? And I was like, I mean, I already told you I just wanted to dance with my roommate. And he's like, I love that you lied to me. And I'm like, really? Like, why? Like, why would you, what? Like, that should be a turn off, not a turn on. And he was just like, you're just so effing sexy and na-na-na-na-na. And I was just kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. And he was like, okay, just come talk to me. And I was like, I mean, do I have to? And he was like, yeah, just come talk to me. Like, be my friend. Like, I just want to be your friend. And I was like, okay, this is a little bit more subtle. Like, I can get down with this. Like, sure, let's be friends. And he was like, oh, my name is, and we're just going to say his name is Stanley. And he was like, oh, my name is Stanley. Like, I think you're really beautiful. Like, I think you're super confident. And the fact that you can, like, dance out there and, like, move your hips and your butt and, like, be a sexy being, that's so attractive. No. And I was like, I'm not really looking for anything right now. And he was like, that's okay. I just want to, like, be your friend. And I was like, okay, well, we can be friends. And he was like, can I get your number? And I was like, sure. And I gave it to him, but my phone was dead. And he's like, is this your real number? And I was like, yeah, I promise. And he's like, why didn't you answer? And I was like, because my phone is dead with my roommate. I was like, speaking of my roommate, I should probably, like, go find her again. Because she had, like, walked off because she was like, okay, whatever, I'm going to give you time. And, like, this whole time, it's just all so new to me. And I'm like, I'm trying really hard to be just, like, a nice person and friendly and, like, meet new people and, like, make friends, because I have been unavailable for 3 years and I don't really know how to go out there and, like, date. And I feel like maybe this is a good way to, like, meet a person. And so what did we do? And so I gave him my number, and then he continuously followed me the rest of the night and like kept trying to dance with me. And like I kept trying to go to my roommate because it was supposed to be like me and hers night, and like she has a boyfriend, so of course she's just like looking for a nice time. And I was kind of flattered that, like, I don't even remember what we named this guy, Stanley? Yeah, it was Stanley. So I was really flattered that like Stanley wanted to like hang out with me and like be around me, but at the same time I was like, I really just want to be with my roommate, and I want to like look at other people and like see if there's other people that I like. And then he was like, I'm going to take you to a movie, and I'm going to take you to a nice dinner, and I'm going to spend good money on you, and and I was like, okay, like, cool, like, I'm into that. I like when people take care of me, and I love to be shown off in public. That made me sound really bad, but I do. I love like when my boyfriend or my date or whoever feels confident taking me out and like walking around with me and looking confident and and I just think that's like a really cool thing. But I was like, okay, yeah, let's do that, like, I'm down, like, I love to be taken out on dates. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna call you on Saturday and I'll take you out on a date. And I was like, nice, okay, cool, yeah, I'm stoked, like, let's do it. So he calls me, and I got really sick, and I was like, let me get a little bit better and then you can take me on a date. And so Saturday comes around and I'm feeling okay, and he like texted me a little bit, and it all seemed super harmless. He was like, hey, like, how are you doing? What's your job? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you like? And I was like, do you want to see a movie? And he was like, yeah, I'm super down to go see a movie. So the date comes, and I'm literally so excited. I'm like, yeah, like, let's go on a date. Like, let's do it. And I get all cute and do my makeup, and it looked really pretty, and I put on a really pretty dress, and like I put on a bra for him. Like, what? I put on a bra for him, and I like was just super comfortable. And then he shows up at like 5. He's supposed to come at 3, and he's like, okay, I'm here. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come out. And like we hadn't talked on the phone, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna come out and like come grab you and we'll go do something. And so I go outside, and he has this huge plastic bag, and he's like, hey, do you have paper plates? Like, I brought fried chicken. And I was like, you brought fried chicken? And he was like, yeah, I didn't realize that it was like a 3-hour drive to get to you. And I was like, well, yeah, like, you've never been to where I live? And he was like, no. Okay, so I just went ahead, just for time's purpose, did my eyeshadow off camera, and I used the Carly Bybel Deluxe Edition palette, and it actually works really amazing. Like, I use this all the time. And I used, let's see if I can like do this. I used this color, and I used this color. And it's not fully picking up the colors, but I also used this one, which is like a purpley, but it's showing up like brownish on camera. And then I also used these 2 colors right there. And those are just like a light brown and a brown. And then that gave me the effect of this, and you really can't see it, and that's kind of a shame. But it's very pretty, it's very light. And then I just threw on just like a random lipstick that I own. It's nothing special. It is like literally, it's old, like the name is rubbed off. It's in a little tube. I think I got it off like Wish when I was like a couple of years ago, and it's just, it looks pretty. Let me see. It literally smells the same, and it's, yeah. Oh, and it says that it expires in 2020. I don't know if that's good or not, to be honest. That's a long time. But, it's not 2020, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But yeah, it's just this, like, pretty, like, purpley brown, like, color, and I'm into it. But, back to the story. So, he comes over, and he's like, hey, I have fried chicken, can you grab plates? And I'm like, is he gonna take me somewhere? Like, is he going to maybe, like, go take us for a car ride and like stop somewhere and we'll eat fried chicken, because like I'm not a girl who's gonna diss some fried chicken. Like, dude, yeah, I like fried chicken. Like, I thought we were going on a nice date, but like if we're just gonna get some fried chicken, that's cool too. Like, I'm not gonna complain about it. And just take me somewhere pretty. Like, let's go sit in a park or like go outside or something. Like, I'm not just trying to like hit it and quit it, you know? Like, I want to make friends. And he's like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go grab plates and then we'll go. And he's like, well, no, it's okay, I'll come with you. And then he comes in, and my mom specifically was like, don't let anyone in your apartment, like, don't let them in. And I was like, yeah, okay, Mom, like, I won't let them in. He came in, like, kind of like very just weirdly, and I was like, I didn't know that you were gonna come into my apartment. Like, I would have cleaned if I had known that you were gonna come in. And he's like, it doesn't matter, you look beautiful. And I was like, well, thank you, that's so nice of you, like, I appreciate it. And he was like, you're not gonna believe like what happens after this. He was like, do you have rice? Like, rice that you eat? And I was like, excuse me? And he was like, yeah, do you have rice? And I was like, yeah, it's not cooked rice. And he was like, oh, yes, please. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I would love some. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, I'll have to make it. And he was like, yeah, we can just hang out for a little bit. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever, like, I'll make you rice. And he was like, I don't know how to make rice. And I was like, well, you're gonna learn today. And so like I show him how to make rice, and he's like, oh, I always just go to Panda Express and buy like a shit ton of rice and then like stick it in my fridge for later. But yeah, and so he doesn't know how to make rice, so I make him rice, and then like I'm all, are we gonna go anywhere? And he's like, oh, well, like the ride was so long, I thought we could just hang out and like talk and eat and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, like, that's fine. And so I got dressed for nothing. I put on a bra for nothing. I'm like in my house with this guy that I don't know, and then he's like whispering at me again, and he's like, guess what? And he's all, I make music. And he has a YouTube channel. And he was like, I make music, do you want to hear it? And I was like, yes, like, sure, like, that's cool. And he's like, okay, just wait. He goes on a binge of showing me this music that he makes, like piano music, for like a solid like 40 minutes. And I'm just like, that's great, like, cool. And then he's like, do you like this? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I made a rap once too. He turns on this rap that he like created, like, and he's all, this took 400 hours to make. I shit you not. It is like one of the shittiest like things that I've ever heard. It's not great. It sounds super cringeworthy. I'm getting like secondhand embarrassment even thinking about it, because it was that bad. And he was like, it's pretty good, right, for the first song? And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, sure. And then he's like, give me your hand. Lay back in the chair. Get comfortable. I want to hold your hand. And I'm like, why do you need to like be so touchy? Like, why do you like to hold hands so much? And then he like leans in to like kiss me, and I kid you not, he goes like and kisses my chin. He like starts kissing my chin because he doesn't know how to kiss a person and kiss their mouth. And I'm like, that's my chin, and I have makeup on, and you're ruining my beautiful makeup, and you're gonna give me pimples on my chin because you're sucking on my chin. And like, I don't actually say that. I'm just kind of like, and I'm like, my mouth is up here, and like, could you not? And then he's like, do you have, like, fast forward all this like meaningless flirting and like constantly trying to hold my hand, and like a really awkward photo shoot that he's like, come take a photo with me. and like him trying to get me to add him on Facebook, and me being like, no, that's my personal, like, I don't want to add you on Facebook, I'm sorry, like, I'll add you on Snapchat, I'll add you on Instagram, I'll add you on fucking Twitter, and I don't even use Twitter that often, but like, not my Facebook, that's just my family. And he's like offended, and he's like, I have a feeling you don't want to hang out with me again. And I was like, I should have just been like, you're right, I don't. But I was like, no, I'm actually just very private, like, that's like friends that I've known since I was like a young child, like, that's all my family, that's like yeah, no, I only have like 300 friends on Facebook. And he was like, I have 1,300, and I was like, what? That's just adding fucking people you don't know. Like, I have actually known these people since I was like 4. And it was really bizarre, and he like wouldn't let me say no, and then I just dropped it. I was like, just drop it, like, I'm not gonna add you. And he's like, okay, that's fine. And then he's like, can I charge my phone? And I'm like, yeah, let me go plug it into my room. He's like, ooh, give me a house tour of your house. And I'm like, and he's like, no, yeah, come on. And he grabs my hand and pulls me. He pulls me, and in my head, I'm like, what is he doing? And then he pulls me into my room, and he's like, this is beautiful. And I'm like, and it's like very personal to me, and I'm kind of just like, if not, like, I straight up haven't had a guy in my room since me and my boyfriend had broken up, and I wasn't ready for this. And then along comes like a ton of like cringe. He's like trying to slobber on my shoulders, on my fucking arms. He's trying to kiss me like fucking Gomez Adams. He's trying to like mac up on me and like be like super sexy, and I'm like not having it. I like keep going like this, like I put my hand on his face and I like push him away. Or I put my hand on his chest and I like push him away. And he's like, girl, how many times are you gonna stop pushing me away? And I'm like, until you fucking stop. Like, like really? Like, is this really happening? And he's just kind of like, I love how you play hard to get. And I'm like, no, I'm not playing hard to get. And then he like, he straight up is, I'm like, you should leave at 9. And he's like, 9? It took me 3 hours to get here, and you're gonna make me leave at 9? And I was like, you came at 5. Like, what? That is like the regular date time. Like, you need to go, especially if I'm not comfortable. And he's like, okay, I'll leave at 9. And then he's like continuously trying to like kiss me and do all this stuff, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, nothing is going to happen. And he's like, okay, well, I have 3 condoms. Do you want to do anything? Like, are we gonna do anything? And I'm like, no. And he keeps going, and I'm like, is this a joke? Like, where are the cameras? Where is somebody gonna come out and like be like, you've been fucking punked? And like, I just don't understand. I don't know what's happening. And then he's like, man, Maria, you're just so hard to get, and I love that. And then he's like, you're the kind of girl I want to date. I'm like, you don't want to date me. He's like, why? And I'm like, because right now I'm not like in a toxic like mindset. Like, honestly, if we dated, I'd be an awful girlfriend and I wouldn't know how to date you. And he's like, girl, I love a toxic bitch. Like, I love a toxic girl. Like, that's what I need in my life. I need some Maria in my life. And I'm like, please stop. Please, please stop. And he, like, this whole time that he's here, he keeps saying girl and Maria, like, really cringe-worthily. And I'm like, can we, like, cut that shit? Like, can we cut the, like, wannabe gangster shit for a quick minute? Like, you're just supposed to be, like, a nice FedEx guy. Like, I don't get it. And he's like, so we're not doing anything? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, it was such a long ride. Can I stay the night? And I was like, no. And then he's like, so, like, we're not doing anything. And I was like, no. And he keeps trying to kiss me, and I'm like, can you please stop? And he's like, oh, yeah, girl, I respect that. I respect that. And I'm like, you obviously don't. And I was like, if you keep doing that, I'm going to get pissed off. And he's like, how pissed off? And I was like, pissed off enough to kick your ass. Like, just stop. And he's like, ooh, I like a spicy girl. He said some weird shit like that. And then I was like, you realize these walls are super thin? And he's like, so if I was, like, banging you, everyone would hear? And I was like, no, if you touched me anyway that I didn't like, I would scream and my neighbors would come running in and the cops would come and take you away. And he's like, oh shit. And then he's like, he actually gets pushy in the way where he's trying to avidly sleep with me. And finally I was like, you need to go. I have to go pick up my friend. Like, she's having a really bad time. I'm sorry. Like, maybe we'll hang out. Like, no, I didn't say that. He was like, are we gonna hang out another day? And I was like, maybe. And I just, like, didn't even say anything. I just, like, didn't want to deal with it. And I was like, you gotta go. And so, like, I kick him out of my house. And he's like, can I just... And I'm like, what? And I'm, like, cringing. I'm, like, about to, like, snap. And he fucking goes and kisses my forehead. And I'm like, I'm so done. I'm so done. Like, I can't even with you. Like, what? And then he gets in his car, and I get in mine, and I ride off to my friends, and I, like, cry to my friend, and I'm like, that was fucking awful. Like, and that's the thing, is, like, before the date happened, like, I'm avidly on my Facebook, and my friends are all hyping me up, and, like, I post a picture, and they're all like, you look so beautiful, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm so excited to go on a fucking date. And they're like, tell us how it is, and it fucking sucked. And I was like, ugh. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm just, like, throwing off the F-bomb. That's, like, my key word when I'm, like, upset, and I'm so sorry if it offends any of you. I'm sure by now you all know that I'm, like, a very at-peace person. I know how to deal with, like, weird situations. Like, I got him out of my house. I went and got my girlfriends, and, like, at one point he texts me, and he's like, I'm still around, like, where you live. Like, do you want to, can I come back over and, like, hang out with you and your girlfriends and, like, drink and smoke with you guys? And I'm like, no, you can't. Like, sorry, you can't. And he's just like, oh, well, I'm starting to feel kind of dizzy. And I'm like, that sucks. Sorry, have fun going home. And, like, that all happened, and then, like, my girlfriends came over, and we had a sleepover, and we had such a good time, and it was a great time, and I don't even know. I don't know. It was just crazy. That whole experience was fucking nuts. Like, I'm kind of scared to go on another date, but I know that I can't be scared, because, like, if I'm scared, nothing will happen. Like, I won't ever get around to doing things that I want to do and meeting friends. And, like, I'm sure there's great guys out there, but, like, that was kind of tragic, and I don't know if I don't know what to do, but I'm not gonna give up. So that was my awful, like, first date after 3 years story time. My ex-boyfriend did end up, like, calling and being like, let me know if you need me to pick you up, like, if you're scared, this guy is creepy. And I was like, it's already done. Like, I kicked him out. And he was like, oh, that's too bad. And I was like, yeah, it fucking is too bad. Like, I wanted it to be a nice date, but whatever. And he's like, well, I think you deserve the best of the best, and I hope one day that you find it. And I was like, you know what, me too. And that was that. So I still have hope, and I'm still happy and doing my thing, but I thought that would be kind of an interesting thing to share with you guys. So, like and subscribe if you want to. I don't post all the time. I would like to get better at doing that, but life goes on. There's so many awkward events happening, and yeah, that's just it. Like, love you guys.